Anupama February 2nd, 2026 written update, Rajni's lies collapse. Anupama February 2nd, 2026 written update, Rajni's lies collapse. Anupama turns the game around. Today's episode moves like a slow burn that suddenly explodes. The air is heavy, emotions are raw, and truth walks in when everyone thinks it's already dead. The episode opens at the chawl, where Rajni arrives wearing regret like a costume. She pretends to mourn Anupama's death, but her words drip with poison. She calls Anupama a betrayer, someone who played with emotions and used people for sympathy. Rahi and Prerna stand frozen, unable to digest the venom being casually poured out. The worst part is not Rajni's words, but how easily the chawl residents get swayed. One by one, murmurs turn into accusations. Anupama, who once held this place together, is suddenly painted as the villain. Rajni watches it all with quiet satisfaction. For her, hatred is victory. Sarita breaks the noise with something far more unsettling. She asks Rajni to pray, calmly revealing that Anupama was taking Rajni's name while trapped in the fire. She adds that people believe souls of those who die in fires continue to wander. The sentence lands hard. Rajni's confidence cracks. Fear replaces arrogance. Almost on cue, the builder arrives and asks her to begin demolition work. Rajni nods, trying to regain control, but destiny has other plans. A white bedsheet suddenly falls over Rajni's face. It's a small moment, but it terrifies her more than any accusation. She panics, trembling, convinced that something supernatural is happening. The powerful woman who just minutes ago controlled the narrative now talks about puja and protection. Fear has officially taken over. That's when Anupama appears. She stops Rajni mid-motion, her presence calm, steady, and almost unreal. Rajni stares at her like she's seen a ghost, because in her mind, that's exactly what Anupama is. She starts begging Anupama to stop appearing, saying she's already dead and should leave her alone. Anupama's reply cuts deep. She says souls never die, but humanity does, and people like Rajni lose theirs long before their bodies fail. Sarita steps in and drops the truth. Anupama is alive. The shock on Rajni's face says everything. She demands an explanation, insisting that Varun told her Anupama was dead and Prerna survived. Anupama calmly clarifies that Varun said exactly what she wanted him to say. The trap snaps shut. Rajni finally understands that the game she thought she was playing was already reversed. Anupama exposes the plan piece by piece. She tells Rajni she failed her own evil strategy. She compares it to a game of dice, saying that whenever Shakuni plays his move, Lord Krishna always has a counter. Last night, Rajni walked straight into that counter. Anupama reminds her of the confession she made, the words she poured out without realizing they were being recorded. Rajni struggles to remember, panic setting in as her confidence completely collapses. Prerna steps forward, hurt and angry. She accuses Rajni of using her like a pawn. She says mothers are not like Rajni, cold and selfish, but like Anupama, who burns herself to keep others warm. Varun joins in, turning against Rajni too. For Rajni, this is betrayal multiplied. Everyone she used now stands on the other side. Still, Rajni tries to fight back. She claims Anupama is framing her and says no one will believe her. She repeats her favorite excuse, that Anupama betrayed everyone and still expects trust. But this time, the words fall flat. Anupama confronts her directly. She tells Rajni that having power, money, and influence means nothing if obsession consumes the soul. Rajni had everything, yet greed destroyed her. When Rajni challenges Anupama to prove her accusations, Anupama doesn't argue. She simply acts. The recording plays. Rajni's confession echoes through the chawl, stripping her bare in front of everyone. The builder and her own manager step back, instantly distancing themselves. The truth does not need drama, it only needs to be heard once. The chawl residents erupt. Lemons, chiles, and slippers fly toward Rajni. It's not pretty, but it's symbolic. Anupama calmly states that evil people are never welcomed, which is why they are driven away like this. The same crowd that cursed Anupama minutes ago now bows their heads in shame. They apologize to Anupama, one after another. Anupama stops them. She admits her own mistake. She blindly signed papers without reading them, trusting too easily. She turns the moment into a lesson, warning everyone to always read legal documents carefully or consult a lawyer before signing. It's not said like a lecture, but like a confession born from pain. Preet asks what punishment Rajni deserves. Prerna and Varun say Anupama should decide. Sarita and Preet urge her to return to the chawl, asking if she will come back. Anupama stands there, silent, overwhelmed, torn between hurt and responsibility. The episode ends on that stillness, leaving the question hanging in the air. Precap insight, the tension shifts to another front. Parag declares that God will step out first, followed by everyone else. Vasundhara refuses to let anyone touch God's picture. Prem intervenes. Meanwhile, Rajni, somehow still unbroken, asks Anupama to apologize and hug her. Anupama's response is firm and final. She says she cannot hug someone who has betrayed her once. Anupama February 2, 2026 written update review. This episode thrives on emotional reversal. Rajni's downfall isn't loud, it's methodical. The writers smartly avoid turning Anupama into a supernatural savior and instead frame her as a strategist who uses truth as her weapon. The chawl residents' quick shift is uncomfortable but realistic, showing how easily public opinion changes. Anupama's refusal to glorify herself, her acceptance of her own mistake, and her choice to educate rather than dominate make this episode powerful. Rajni, as a character, finally gets exposed without shortcuts. The lemon and slipper punishment may feel dramatic, but within the emotional universe of the show, it works as social justice rather than legal closure. The final silence from Anupama is the strongest moment, proving that victory doesn't always feel like celebration.